Hey YouTubers, welcome back to another Tesla electric car video of me, Adam Well-Informed. Are you turning up to the fuel pump wishing prices could return to 2020 levels? Are you now considering switching to a more economical car because of the price of fuel? Maybe you're thinking of switching that old diesel to a brand new, more fuel efficient petrol, or maybe you thought about switching to a hybrid or full electric car to help mitigate the ever increasing cost of fuel. But what is the most cost-effective car or fuel type to acquire in 2022? Despite your best interests, picking the wrong fuel type could hurt your back pocket more than Chris Rock presenting the Oscars. But why would that be, Adam? With the price of fuel projecting to reach £2 a litre in the summer of 2022, are the costs unimaginable for petrol cars from here onwards? With the UK reliant on natural gas for its electrical fuel mix, surely electric cars don't fare well in this financial climate either, and electricity costs are equally at an all-time high here in the UK, at least. For this video, I will set out two completely transparent cost comparisons between owning a brand new BMW 3 Series versus a brand new Tesla Model 3. I've done this previously before, but this time is going to be even more eye-opening than ever before because I will be demonstrating two contrasting alternative situations, from home charging on the sky-high electrical rate of 28 pence per kilowatt hour to relying on 100% on public charging or Tesla superchargers, making this absolutely relatable for those with no home charging capabilities. In the other end of the boxing ring, we'll be comparing it to petrol prices at the anticipated £2 per litre rates. Personally, I think that's a fair balance between different ownership situations and current circumstances that we face, so you have a well-rounded and well-informed idea of how the current refueling climate affects the total cost of ownership figures between two competing cars. This isn't just about fuel costs, we'll be incorporating pretty much everything else you'd pay with a car ownership over a 4-year term, including for the vehicle via finance, vehicle exercise duty and servicing and insurance. This will be simulated between two rival cars in a saloon/sedan segment, that being the BMW 3 Series 330i M Sport and a Tesla Model 3 rear-wheel drive. Equally, I could have done a Model 3 versus a Mercedes C-Class or an Audi A4, but on this occasion it is the BMW 3 Series. Both brands just make it easy for me to obtain and complete fair car finance terms on a relatively equal spec car. So if this video sounds like an interesting insight, buckle up, hit that like button to show me some of your virtual love and support for Tesla and EVs, hit the subscribe button so you can continue on this Tesla EV journey with me, and finally hit the notification bell so you're notified of all my upcoming electric car videos as soon as they're available, like the solution to the whole doorgate saga. Anyhow, it's now time to set up the two cost of ownership comparisons between the BMW 330i M Sport and the Tesla Model 3 SR Plus. The results will vary, and the extent of them results is pretty surprising. So the first illustration I plan to incorporate and demonstrate to you is home charging the Tesla Model 3 at the current cost cap rate in the UK of 28 pence per kilowatt hour versus the 3 Series at the anticipated £2 a litre rate. This is a reality average drivers could face within just a month or two. In respect to the purchase and financial costs of the car, I've built both vehicles on their configurators directly on the Tesla website and the BMW website, and I haven't added any optional packs, etc. So they should just be plain standard spec price for their trim. I used a deposit of £10,000 for both vehicles over 4 years and over 10,000 miles, utilising personal PCP. These rates have been used because 4 years is the average term of ownership for a passenger vehicle and 10,000 miles is the average amount of mileage for a car user, making these comparison terms relatable to the average car user. Finance figures are sourced directly from both manufacturers for a direct comparison. This turned out to be £524 per month for the Tesla Model 3 over 24 months, like this screenshot on the screen now, and the BMW 3 Series, utilising that same £10,000 deposit, was £544.43, like so. To give you a flavour of the outcome, I estimated that the total 4-year difference is over £10,000 in one vehicle's favour. If that's got your attention, I'll inform you of the per month and per year figure together with that whole breakdown of how I got to each of these three figures. Now it's time for me to show you how I got to this damn scary cost of ownership comparison. So on the screen now, if I click on my comparison, I want to show you the outcome on a monthly basis first. We want to incorporate that monthly finance figure for both of the vehicles because the deposit on this occasion is exactly the same, and I don't want to include any other one-off costs for this comparison, so I've not incorporated it within my calculations. So just to show you, I've entered the purchasing details correctly and insurance figures for each cars. Here is the monthly finance figure. I detailed these earlier, and the adjustment cost mentioned here is just the £10,000 deposit for each vehicle. However, we're not going to incorporate that into any of our calculations because the BMW has exactly the same deposit as what we're putting down for the Tesla Model 3. Now, to show you the BMW 3 Series, exactly the same thing. The insurance was the same for my dummy quote that I completed earlier, but more importantly, the finance costs represent the BMW 3 Series from the BMW finance calculator, which I also mentioned earlier. Now, let's move on to the fun part, being the breakdown. Oh, but before I do that, I should probably do a disclaimer, because I know some of you will start kicking me in the comments saying I've missed X, Y, or Z, etc., etc. So this is my most educated projection based on the very breakdown that I'm going to put in front of you, hence the transparency. There are lots of other factors that could alter these figures over the real term, such as fluctuations to the electrical prices or fuel prices, and or just general wear and tear maintenance. Within the 4-year term, I'd expect the warranty to cover unexpected mechanical issues, but outside that, I've not covered the unexpected because it's far too difficult to predict that, and I'm not a grown-up version of Harry Potter to my wife's dissatisfaction. That said, I like to think that I am magical, but I cannot foresee into the future. Now I've laid down the disclaimer, here is the direct breakdown of each cost, starting with the monthly projection. This is the monthly finance figure I entered earlier. Then this is the deposit figure, but it's set out as a 12 monthly figure. This hasn't been incorporated into the figures though. If I wanted to, I could just toggle this on and off like so. You can even see the figures changing as I do that. Anyway, I don't want that, so let's turn that off. Moving on to a key running cost differentiator. At these sky high prices for both electric and at a £2 a litre petrol figure to drive 833.33 miles a month, aka 10,000 miles a year, it's roughly going to cost you 4 times more filling up the petrol BMW than it is to run the electric car based on their WLTP rated range. That's staggering, but we're not finished here. And the full 4-year total term figure is more surprising than seeing Man United reach Champions League football. And please, no hate Man United fans, this is just the first thing that came to my head. I mentioned the insurance earlier, this was exactly the same at £500 or £41.67 on a monthly basis. Here, the servicing is way in favour of the Tesla Model 3, and I mentioned this in my other video, but servicing a Tesla is not requested by Tesla to be an annual thing, it's more of a periodic decision on the owner. Primarily, it's zero because the driver can complete the limited maintenance schedule points at home over that 4-year period, and you can see my previous video for more details on that. However, the manufacturer recommendation for the BMW is an annual service, and this service cost represents a monthly service plan by the manufacturer. Finally, vehicle excise duty, also known as road tax, is free for electric vehicles, whereas the BMW also attracts the luxury car rate. Therefore, the annual price is £490 or £40.83 if broken into a 12 monthly figure. Now for the grand monthly total for each, it's £820 for the BMW and £610 for the Tesla. And this is the equivalent 12 monthly figure, giving us a grand total of £210 per month difference. Now be honest, did that exceed your expectations? But wait, there's more to this illustration. If we now switch that to the grand difference over a 12-month period, all things being equal again, that difference would estimate to be over £2,500 over a 12-month period. Just reflecting where the major differences are over the course of a year's ownership, we can see that roughly £1,500 of this difference stems from the fuel costs alone. But wait for it, if we put together a 4-year simulation, that grand difference would be something like £10,000, with all things being equal. That is the reality of making a purchasing decision to acquire a new car. Despite your good intentions, if you don't do your own research incorporating your anticipated costs, the outcome could be far than desired. However, that said, what does a no charging home solution look like? Well, let's find out. Around 2/3 of the UK have access to off-road parking, but that leaves around 1/3 of UK households without access to home charging facilities. Those households will be reliant on the public network of chargers, and prices will vary from provider to provider, and if you're utilising a slower 7 kilowatt charger or a rapid charger or supercharger. To make this super spicy, I want to compare the exact same figure but with one reliant on the Tesla supercharger network. Prices do vary depending on which site you visit, but my local Tesla supercharger costs 40 pence per kilowatt hour according to ZapMap, which is about 40% more expensive than the home charging rate used for the previous comparison. Therefore, does this figure then dampen the difference to the BMW 3 Series? Well, there's only going to be one way to find out, isn't there? So you can see this illustration, I've changed the electrical rate from 28 pence to 40 pence, and with everything else being equal as before, the monthly difference stands at £191 this time, which is just shy of £20 more expensive than the last projection. Yearly, the difference would then stand at £2,296, and a 4-year difference of just over £9,000 difference. So whilst public charging is going to be more expensive than home charging based in this projection and over a 4-year period, just being reliant on a battery electric vehicle like the Tesla Model 3 is still going to be the most cost effective option, despite these much higher charging costs. But wait, there is one more bonus round you must see before reaching the conclusion. That bonus round to me is utilising an EV electricity tariff at home to charge the vehicle. This can drop the average charging rate of electricity for the vehicle from 28 pence per kilowatt hour to just 7.5 pence, and you can see the details of that tariff in the description of the video. So if we run a similar illustration but amending the electrical rate to 7.5 pence per kilowatt hour, how big do you think the deficit will grow over the term of 4 years? Any ideas? To put you out of your misery, the monthly difference stands at £242. The 4-year cost comes next at £2,914, which will mean that the 4-year total could be close to £11,657. Please tell me that the difference shocked you too. Either way, that difference, in my eyes at least, is significant for the average driver to know what you're working with. And with these illustrations, I'm not exclusively telling you to go out and buy that Tesla Model 3. And don't go out and buy that BMW 3 Series either. I'm saying do your research on the full cost of ownership, as making a buying decision without any financial expectations can be severe. If you're wondering what app or program that I'm using to calculate all of this, this is the first time I've taken direct footage from my jointly produced app, economical. It's designed to help bring them cost of ownership illustrations to life in just a few seconds. If you're interested in getting access to it, just make sure that you subscribe to the channel and follow the social media accounts in the description below so you can get first dibs on the full public release. So to conclude, I think it's fair to say that the Tesla Model 3 won this fight pretty comfortably. Whilst electric vehicle prices are climbing, it's massively more beneficial to own an electric car over a petrol powered car. Even if there is still more room for electric prices to grow, there was still enough baked in to absorb further price increases on these current rates. Plus, we know that the introduction of a EV electrical tariff and having off-peak electric charging can make recharging costs even lower, and that's even in today's very difficult energy market. The end result over 4 years is truly staggering, and not even myself anticipated that sort of outcome until I completed the illustration on economical. So what did you guys think? What do you think your next car could be? And do you find running similar cost comparisons helps you ahead of buying a vehicle? Let me know in the comment section below, and if you're not sure what to comment and you want to show me you got this far in the video, you could simply comment, "Adam, you're a wizard," and I'll give you a cheeky thumbs up for the support. If you're not already done so, please hit that like button, subscribe, share the video with friends, family, or any groups that may find it beneficial. As always, you folks have been great, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.